before we do that, let's while we're on this slide. What did the ocean say to the beach?
It waved.
Nothing. It just waved. You guys knew that one, yeah. All right, so 611. What questions do we have? Ooh, Faro's got a hand halfway up. It's at least half a hand. So remember, I love that you guys are more specific than me. I know that we're in chapter 6, so you don't have to say 6 dash. Thank you, though. You're like, I know we're in chapter 6. Hopefully we're not talking about chapter 5 still. That should be behind us. So you said 9. The more you say, the more confusing it is. Thank you. I kind of owe you. Because a few people came and asked me about this question, which means it was tough. It was at least tough to understand, so I should probably go back and rewrite it this year. So I might actually highlight this for my own purposes and say I should rewrite this. So guys, Desmond is rolling a die, a number cube. And actually, if you're one of the people that already turned this in, John, Eli, and, well, Cade's not here today. But here, check these again just while we're going over it together. Just make sure that it's all good and then turn it back in. Sorry, I'm trying to be more like Mr. Hall, where it's like we check our homework before we ever turn it in. So I shouldn't let you turn stuff in early. So this table is incomplete because what results are there on a die that he did not include? Are there more numbers than just 4? Yeah, there's a 5 and a 6 also. So the first thing to think about here is this does not add up to 72, even though they tell us he rolled it 72 times. It's because this table is not finished. So there would also be results of 5 and 6 down here. But we can answer A and B without dealing with the missing part of the table. About how many times would we expect Desmond to roll a 4? So to answer that question, we first have to talk about what's the probability of a 4. Lucas? 1 out of 6. Yeah, Miss Martin, I need to put those somewhere better. I need to put some screws in the wall so they can hang, because they're just super heavy. I might ask Mr. Flynn if I'm allowed to. So guys, we do the probability of the event times, anyone know? Eli? Ooh, careful. I think you're jumping a step. Times the total number that we did the event. So we rolled this die 72 times. The chance of getting a 4 is 1 out of 6. So we would expect a 6th of our 72 rolls to be a 4. That answer gets us 12. So we would expect 12 rolls to be 4. As opposed to be after. B4. Okay, it's bad. About how many times would we expect to roll an even? What's the probability of getting an even when you're rolling a die? 3/6. Or 1/2, so we could say 3/6 or 1/2 is a simpler way to talk about it. So 1/2 of the 72 rolls, we would expect 36 evens. Questions on A or B? C was poorly worded. C is saying if Desmond kept track of 72 rolls, the table on the right shows some of his results. I should have been more. I should have said some but not all were missing things, stuff like that. I should have been more clear on really just we're trying to solve how many rolls is he missing. How much of his table is not there. So if we add these up, what do we get? 40, what'd you say? 42. So how many rolls would it be between 5 and 6? There'd be 30 total. And actually, I think it was Mia or somebody told me, well, if they were split evenly, it would be 15 and 15. Now, we don't know that it will split evenly, but if it splits evenly, be 15 and 15 because we're missing a total of 30. So you could say 5 or 6 would be 30 together. Or you could say something like, if it was split evenly, they'd each have 15. Remaining questions on 9. Kylie looks like she's going to go to sleep. I realized my air filter thing was getting loud because I need to take it home and clean it out. So that's why it sounds so quiet in here today. This is probably what your other classrooms sound like. Also, I was getting tired of trying to talk over that. But then I'll turn it on after class and get things cleaned up a little bit. Other questions from here. This is kind of tricky, and this is funny. I obviously kind of have two different brains. I told you the other day when we did our notes that a vertical number line is better and it makes more sense. And then I gave you a horizontal number line. Guys, this is because even though I believe that vertical is better, the test won't necessarily give you a vertical number line. The test won't even necessarily give you any number line to look at. So if we're looking at a horizontal number line and I compare -5 to -2, -2 is further up the number line. So -2 is actually the larger value. Right? So we're looking for like which one is bigger. 8 obviously larger than -1. -14 actually larger than -15. And actually 0 is bigger than -5 because it's higher up the number line. I would rather have $0 than owe somebody $5. Right? I would rather have no money than to owe somebody money. Lucas? 610 has a ton of answers that could be possible. You just got to write some sort of sentence relating to quantities. So you could say 13 is a third of 39. You could say 39 is triple 13. You could say a lot of different things. I just want to see how you relate the numbers. Immediately in my head, I go, oh, that's triple. There's a 1/3 or a triple relationship here. But that's not the case in like part B, because 17 and 25 don't get along as nicely. So in part B, I'd probably write something about addition or subtraction. And in part C, you could do multiplication, you could do addition, you could do a lot of things. Does that make sense? Now, like, there's no one right answer for that one. There's no single right answer. Back on the front, any questions there? I'll show the answer key again because I know you didn't get too long to check it. Please make sure that in 6-8, you actually took the time to do those correctly because I will be paying attention. If we're still having issues with common denominators, I need to meet with you and we need to work on that. That is tougher than multiplying fractions. That's why we got to keep practicing. We got to make sure that we're good at it. So make sure these make sense and we're not just copying stuff down right now. We got to make sure that we got work shown, especially on number 8. If you don't have work, you're going to come see me. So if you're copying down number 8 right now, I would not do that. I would make sure that we show work. All right, so these are obviously recorded in the video for today, but if no one's got questions, we do not really need to take more time on that. All right, so if it's done, turn it in. If it's not, I should see you at some point later today, probably. If you didn't grab 613, do it, because that's the first thing we're doing is writing on 613. First thing we're doing is looking at 613. Sweet tangerine chicken. Right? I got some Tangelos at home, and I have no idea what that is. They look like oranges. All right, guys, your lunch option for today is tangerine chicken. How many for tangerine chicken? Clementine poultry. I think it's like orange chicken. So like a sweet chicken. 1, 2, just 3, 4, 5. Tangerine chicken, hands high. 6, 7. Wait, do you know what? Never mind. Okay, 6. All right, 6 for tangerine chicken. If you've never had it, this is a decent way to like try it. Hamburger. How many hamburgers? Hamburglar will be sad today. Cheeseburger. 1. I wish there were Whoppers here. Cheese pizza. Good default. Cheese pizza. 1, 2. Pepperoni pizza. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey guys, I'll go ahead and do the reminder and you'll probably hear it another time. Sorry, sun butter and jelly. I always try to forget about this. Sun butter and jelly. There are certain things you have to take because your lunch is free. You cannot just take a slice of pizza. You have to have some sort of fruit or vegetable on your tray. I mean, we know you might not eat it, but we have to have it like put in front of you so you have the opportunity. That's like from the government passed down to say if we're going to give kids food for free, we got to at least give them a healthy option. And we're going to try to incorporate teaching some nutrition to you guys, and Miss Maines might come to Forum tomorrow. But if one of the lunch ladies is saying, hey, you got to take this also, please do it. Please make their job easier. Don't make their job more difficult. They're trying to feed like 700 students, and that's a difficult job, right? Because I think Perry's got like 500-ish. So guys, please try to make people's jobs easier. It goes a long way. It really does go a long way. So pull out 613. Yeah, it should really be out already. When we discuss brain fart. When we discuss equations and inequalities, we're gonna start using these vocab words more and more. So I guess I'll take volunteers. I won't start using cards yet. Anyone want to tell us like your definition for a variable? Kylie?
A variable is something that is like a letter that represents something that's like an unknown. A variable is unknown.
Kylie. That's like almost exactly what I had written. Write something very close to what Kylie said or what I have written. It's a letter showing a number we don't know. So I'm going to expect for these things to be written on that homework when you turn it in. Also why I started doing my homeworks like this a couple years ago. But obviously I still got room to grow. I got typos on these things. Terms. Terms. Any volunteers about terms? Terms is kind of weird. I'll admit, terms is kind of weird. Eli? Oh my gosh, this is working so perfectly. Go ahead. I like, when I was planning out this lesson, I was like, I wonder if they can read my thoughts, right? Like, I was thinking, I bet they know me well enough now. Terms are parts of the equation or inequality separated by plus or minus, right? Separated by addition or subtraction. You guys are awesome. Coefficient. Coefficient. What is a coefficient? This one, I don't know if we've talked about this yet. I'll be real impressed if someone can tell me this. Yeah, this is what I was kind of wondering if we might not know. You want to take a stab at it, John? That we'd probably use like inverse or something like that if we were talking opposites. Layla? It's the number that multiplies by a variable. Yeah, guys, I got the ABCs of algebra over there, so you can always kind of peek and see if there's, if one of those, and I might move the alphabet over to the other wall. That's more like drywall. I'll probably do that during Discovery Day. So coefficient is the multiplier of a variable. And the constant, back to Kylie, it's not over there, but we've talked about it before. Is what? Yeah, something that doesn't change. It's a number we know, like 5 or 10 or 7. We know what it is. It's not changing. Whoa. My age changes?
No, like our age. Like your age.
Oh, you mean like right now in this moment? I was about to say, I think your age changes unless like.
No, you know what your age is.
This gets into semantics. This is like a connections question.
John, we talked about the connection.
Is your age fixed or is it changing? Like, I don't know.
Your age is constantly changing.
If you don't have 3 colors of variables, if you don't have 3 colors of highlighters at your table group, I would. So, let's highlight these things, but let's be careful. Let's start with what we just talked about, the constant. If we come down here, this is a constant, that's a constant, that's a constant, that's a constant. We're just going to highlight this top one, because then we're going to write in between the steps, or off to the sides of the steps. So we're just going to highlight the top one. Then, anyone want to help me identify the variables? What letters are we using here, Layla? X. So, now don't highlight the 5, but the X there and the X there. Oh, I forgot. Up here, highlight variable. Right? So make your colors match. You don't have to use the same colors as me, but make your colors match. And then coefficients. I grabbed the wrong stack of cards anyways. That's funny. Y'all are blue. I bet Miss Martin doesn't even know that song. You know, Eiffel 65. Anyone want to help me with the coefficients? Vincent? Ooh, careful. That's terms. I think you just didn't listen to what I was asking for. The coefficients. Yeah, the 5 over here. The 2 over there. And then we can talk about Vincent, what he said. Sorry, you don't have to highlight these, but the terms are separated, right, by this, 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 and this. That's what separates our terms. But that doesn't mean they have to stay separated. What sort of terms are we allowed to put together? Lucas, what do we say? The like terms can be put together. So actually, first, I want you to draw a dotted line down here. We're missing like our fence between mat A and mat B. I'm actually I want to teach from the smart board because I have not been getting up enough. All right, so I need some help. Between step yellow and step blue, do not highlight your paper like this. I just wanted to be able to say yellow, blue, blue, whatever. Between yellow and blue, what happens? Lucas pretty much just told us. Say it again. We combined like terms. So I would like make a bracket or something here that becomes -4, and 2 plus -8 becomes -6. Any questions on how we got from yellow to blue? We're doing the same stuff we did on our algebra mats. You don't have to even highlight the next steps. Like, you don't need these to be these colors. I just wanted to be able to say blue to green and stuff like that. So, Kate's not here today. Vanessa, can you figure out how they got from blue to green? And think back to the mats that we were using yesterday. Yeah, they took 2 X's off of both sides. Guys, what we're going to write is -2x on both sides. They took 2 X's off, so they subtracted 2 X's from both sides. Like we would drag off and drag off, right? Like what we did yesterday. Questions? John? Well, that's not a question. Go ahead. Wait, how do you take away a -4? Vincent? They added 4. You bullied me. I asked for a question and you gave me an answer. Then, man, I got 3x equals -2. Man, we didn't go past this yesterday. What did we say about comparing 3x and -2 here? Anyone remember what we said when we got to this step yesterday, Kylie? Yeah, we don't know what x is, right? So therefore, we don't know what 3x is. That's kind of tough. Does what we did here make sense, or are there questions? They did stuff to both sides, just like what we did yesterday, dragging things off, making zeros. Because up here, what actually happened was they made 2 zeros. And that's how it became -4. And over here, they made 2 zeros. That's how we got left with -6. This was actually making zeros. Really, we can just say we put the numbers together, though. All right, feels like there's no questions. Let's try out one on our own. That's a copy, so I have that this afternoon. So let's go ahead and on graph paper, right? We said that we can keep this graph paper and keep using it. So if you have this graph paper from earlier in the week, pull it back out so we can be a little bit conservative and not use so many trees. If not, you can start a new piece if you want. My advice, which I think at this point most of you trust my advice, I hope. My advice is squiggly line, because straight lines are hard to draw, so I just do squiggly lines. 6.1.3. And this problem is going to be problem 24. So you could say 24, and like put that in a box, or however you want to make your page look. We are going to copy down, but I'm going to do it from the smartboard because it's more fun to do it from up here. 2 plus 2x plus -3. Antonella's in the house. Have you dried out a little bit from this morning, Antonella?
Not really.
Not really. I'm sorry.
Everybody was soaked.
Yeah, I heard the bus stops. And 2x plus -4 plus 1. Guys, at this point, if you ever want to use algebra tiles, you're welcome to, but we're gonna try to practice without them, because this is weird to say. My teachers, probably Miss Martin's teachers, math teachers used to love to say, you're not gonna walk around with a calculator in your pocket. Well, guess what?
We are going to.
We walk around with a calculator in our pocket. Now, given I don't like the calculator on my phone, so I downloaded an app. Yes, I'm that big of a nerd. But are you going to walk around with a bag of algebra tiles in your pocket? I would bet money you're not going to carry these around with you.
What if I do? Yeah. What if we do? Do I get the money if I do?
Well, yeah, you can go onto the website. Okay, so Vanessa's making the argument she can get on the website and do the tiles. Okay, so you got me there. Fine. But, yes?
How much do we get if we carry around those?
I'm not, you can come tell me that I was wrong, but it's going to be funny because you're going to have to like show me your purse with algebra tiles in it or something, like a satchel, or now people are wearing fanny packs across their shoulders, I guess. But
If you have room.
so, I want you to take a moment after you draw your fence down the middle. Try to do exactly what we just did, but on your graph paper. Yeah, I can fill mine out again later with the next class, so you've got the vocab written down. Sorry that you have to deal with my handwriting. Yours is more pretty than mine. Mine's pretty bad. Antonella. Can I put the 2 and the -3 together even though the 2x is between them? Yeah, could we move tiles around on our mat? Yeah. So I actually might rewrite this. I might rewrite this with the 2x first and move the 2 over here, the 2x over there. So I've got them next to each other. Kind of like over here, they started with their 2x first. So 2x plus -4 plus 1. Layla Davis, when you add the 2x, the 2 and the -3, what do we get over here? -1. And the 2x needs to come down. Bring it down. We didn't take it away yet. Right, so the 2x needs to come down. And we keep that addition between them. Eve, would it be easier if you sat in that desk instead? So you could see the board easier? Or then am I in the way? You're good if you want to stay there. You can turn your desk too, because I see you like kind of having to crank your neck around. So if you want to angle your desk a bit, you can. What? Jesus ain't here. Mia, what do we get when we put the -4 and the 1 together? -3. We gotta bring our 2x down. And then we can't leave nothing between them. We had a plus. We still have a plus. Yeah, I hope he remembers that that's his name. He goes by Sonny. Sometimes the office calls you down by the name on the thing, and that's not what you guys go by. So now, Kylie, what could we do? And there's options. What would you do now? Ooh, how would you do that?
I would just -2x.
Yeah, because instead of I like that you said take away, because on the mat we would have literally taken them off. But we're going to do -2x. -2x. So please make sure that you're writing this down. This is on graph paper. Sorry, you missed me saying that, I think. So if you have a graph paper, it's 611. I don't know if you still have the notes from earlier this week, but what we said right before you walked in was if you still had the notes from earlier in the week, we could draw a squiggly line across and just kind of keep going. And if you don't have those, just start a new piece of paper. That's okay. So I'm going to -2x from both sides. Well, now we got -1 over here.
Oh, but you can take away
-3 over here. I'm going to extend my fence. Maybe. All 3 of you. Eagle eye?
And then you can just add 1 to each side.
Okay. I can add 1 to both sides. What's that make happen on the left?
0.
It makes 0. Can we compare these? Yeah, which one's bigger?
0.
0's bigger. How can 0 be bigger?
-2.
Oh, this is negative. That's how 0 can be bigger. I would rather have no money than to owe somebody money. All right, you owe me $10. Nah.
You know what?
I would rather have no homework than to have 2 missing assignments. I'll put it in 7th grade terms then. Somebody this morning said, Mr. Hudson, how does a kid make money? And I said, just go tell people you'll do things like mow grass or shovel snow or rake leaves and they pay you. And they were like, really? Yeah, that's how I made money when I was a kid. Questions on what we did here? Y'all are awesome. Let's try this, but where we have the algebra tiles to start, so we got to write out what they have. So I'm actually going to scooch this down so I can write above it. I'm probably going to move it over too. Can somebody help me with what we have on mat A? Might as well take or try for some volunteers. Eve, can you help me with a piece of this? What are these? 2 X's. So we're going to write down 2X. Come on, Ghost. Leave my smart board alone. 2X. And then I know. I used to have the oldest smartboard in the building, so there was an excuse for it to be, like, haunted. Now these are all the same age, so I don't know. I think it's just me. Well, what, Antonella? Yeah, they're slightly different, like, but they're all the same age. Mia? Maybe it's just Phoenix. Yeah. Isabella, to get us back on task, how would I write these? Are they positive or negative, and how many? Positive 3, so like plus 3. And then I also have, Farah? Negative 1. And I'm going to draw my fence. Actually, I'm going to do this. Aha. That's better. Makes more sense that way. Franco, you want to help me out on the right side or Matt B? Yeah, 1x plus 5. I think that's it. Questions on how we wrote that down? Take 70 seconds to try to simplify this. Just because where the second hand is. And it will make me wait. So we're going to first make zeros, which was really combining like terms. I will have your follow-ups graded by tomorrow. So if you need to do revisions on it, you can do it over the weekend. But that's only if I have it tonight. So please try to give me your follow-up today. Guys, I'm going to be straight up with you. And most of you guys are awesome. You do your homework, you're getting stuff done. I'm going to skip my weekly game night that my friends and I have. We play board games every week on Thursday night. I'm skipping that to grade tonight. Because it's the end of the quarter. I got to get your papers graded. I got to get them back to you. Sometimes we have to choose to do work, not play. It sucks, but that doesn't go away. When you're an adult, you can't just like do what you want to do all the time. It seems that way. It seems like adults have all the power, but not really. We gotta do stuff just like you guys gotta do stuff. I'm supposed to wait 15 more seconds. Do we need more time, or should I just move on? I mean, we're gonna do this together. We might as well start solving it. That's only 5 seconds left. We've talked a lot. Carmen, what could I do first? Yeah, and by the way, did you get contacts, or do we need to make sure you can see the board?
No, I'm gonna get you glasses.
But can you see right now at least? Okay, just let me know if I need to write any bigger or anything. Because, I mean, you know I know, right? Like, I mean, I got glasses. So we combine those. We now have 2x plus 2. John, are there any like terms on the right-hand side to combine? No. Nah, so I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite the same thing, even though nothing changed, because I want to bring these things down together as we write it. This is why I've been trying to brainwash you guys to work vertically. This is where working vertically really makes sense. And to Noah, what could I do now? It's going to be one of those on both sides things. I don't like how that 2 looks. I know you missed the beginning of class, so if you need to pass, that's totally fine. Yeah, we could get rid of this 1x because it's small. I could take 1x off both sides. If I visualize this right, I can take 1x off both sides. So we minus 1x minus 1x. What's 2x minus 1x? 1x left plus 2. And on the other side, what do I still have? 5. I got 0 x's, but I still got 5. I need to bump this down a little bit, and then it's going to jump my screen. So now, apparently all of my x's, there's only 1, but all of them are on the left side. So Marina, what could I do now? Yeah, take 2 off each side. Minus 2, minus 2. See how we're being fair with the fence, like we're always doing it on both sides? So I now just have an x over here. And what do I have on the right side then? 3. Can I compare these? Not unless I know what x is. But very, very soon, you're going to have all the power. I think I just heard somebody say, well, if we say that these are equal, well, then we actually would know what x is then, right? If this fence, instead of being a question mark, if this fence was saying, hey, these sides are equal, you just solved an equation. This is it. This is everything for solving equations. You guys already know it all. We might as well just stop. I'm joking. All right, so moving on. I think you got another on your paper that I kind of want to try before you guys get out of here. You got 27 on your paper, right? So what if I start this by replacing the question mark? This is on your worksheet. You can do it on graph paper or you can do it on the handout. Probably on the handout might make a bit more sense. What if I tell you the left side is less? I tell you 2x plus 5 is less than 3. So let's go ahead and write that down as 2x plus 5. Now we're being told is less than 3. That's interesting. Something plus 5 is less than 3. This is kind of weird.
2x must be negative.
Antonella? Something's gonna be negative here, right? That's the only way this makes sense. Let's work it. Let's not guess. Let's work it. Like Missy Elliott, right? You guys don't have any idea who Missy Elliott is. She has a song called "Work It." Lucas, what could I do on both sides? Do you know what we could? Actually, different question. Which side belongs to the variables? Left or right? The left side's the only side with the variables. So if we're going to say the variables claimed this side, sort of like when you're playing tag or whatever and you claim a base, the variables claimed this side, so they're going to kick out the 5. The variables are going to say, get out of here, you're not part of our club. How would we get rid of the plus 5? Minus 5. And this gets a bit weird. But if I do 3, take away 5, how we end up going negative. So negative 2.
So 2x is smaller than negative 2.
Yeah, double my x is low. Guys, we're talking where we are, right? So negative 2 is right here. 2x is down here somewhere. But we actually don't want to talk about 2x. We want to talk about just x. How could I turn a 2 times x, right? This is multiplication. How can I turn it into just x? You like cut it in half, right? Like divide by 2. So if we divide by 2, x is now going to be less than. So this is, we could write 1. Sorry, we might want to write 1x because that was our goal. 1x is less than what? Negative 1. So x could be negative 2, x could be negative 3, x could be negative 4, or any of those numbers. So if we're saying x is less than negative 1, it's just down here somewhere. It could be negative 1,000. We still don't know, but we know a bit more. It's less than here. That is the end of class. Have a wonderful day. Y'all are awesome. You're getting this really quickly. Please bring homework questions to class. Tomorrow's advisory AO, by the way, for Friday Flex, to make sure you're mastered. At least that's right, Miss Martin, right?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Doing something different, so I think.
Oh, yeah, because they're doing ELA immersion. Yeah, tomorrow is advisory AO for 7th grade, guys. So Friday Flex, sorry, I had some math art people ask me earlier. I feel bad. I feel like we haven't really had much FCO.
No, we haven't. That's what somebody was asking about it today. And
The snow day goofed it up. Yeah, we only had 2, I think.
yeah.
Because I've only taught 2 of the art things I normally teach.
Maybe 3. We might have 3.
Yeah, I'm probably goofed up because I can't keep things straight right now. Last night, I don't know if I told you that I was heading to a friend's birthday dinner.